Welcome back, team, to the National Championships for USA Club Rugby. We're in Austin, Texas at the Round Rock Complex. Next Level Rugby is bringing you all of the action, where we know that every day is a rugby day, but championships are reserved for Sunday. We've got the D2 men's final about to be underway. We've got the Oceanside Chiefs against the Miami Tridents. Now, we have crowned two champions already today. For the D3, the Austin Blacks did beat Calusa 86-0, and then Tampa Crew, we just talked about them, 59-14. They are your D2 women's champions. My name is Darian Lovelace. I'm joined by Lance Kavanaugh. We've still got three other champions to be crowned today within the D1 and for the D1 women and the D1 men's. But Lance, let's talk about the Miami Tridents and the Oceanside matchup, because it's going to be a big banger here in Austin.
Oceanside representing North Cal, handling business, working all the way through some of those mountainous ranges out west, and Miami Tridents at their victorious Saturday put in a lot of work. This is a fast team, but can they stand up to those Cali Tides? Both teams are well adjusted to the weather. This should be a hard-hitting, fun matchup for our D2 National Championship. I'm so ready.
Oh, he's no penalty down there.
Referee there in the middle. Jared Ford will be your center referee, and on the side, the ARs are going to be Aaron Davis and Enrique Alvarez. Our referees have been pretty on point with all of the calls.
We're still holding.
So this will be an evenly contested match. So on your left-hand side, the ones that are going to be in screen are the Oceanside Chiefs. They're going to be in the green and black. And then the Miami Tridents, they'll be in your light blue and burgundy. We'll see them here in just a few as kickoff gets underway. Ford ready to play. Whistle blows, and there's the full view that we're talking about. Kick goes up, it's right at the 10, and it's contestable. Everybody goes in here and goes swinging for it, and it goes back into the hands of the Oceanside Chiefs. Already off to the attack and at the 40. They have multiple options, and moving it to the left-hand side is right. There's space to burn there. They hit a hard running line, and the ball seems to have possibly gotten lost after a counter rock there from the Miami Tridents. Trying to move it away from the pressure area. They put themselves under even more pressure there with the ball hitting the deck, but they do well to relieve it. Kicking it through the space is Merowitz. Merowitz gets it into the 22, and back there to clean it up is Tahatoa. Looks like it might have came off of Miami. We'll see what the call is from Ford, but looks like it's going to be a knock-on for the Miami Tridents. And we're already seeing them really start to put on that defensive pressure that got them here. They were on top of the Indian Palas, 34-21, a 13-point deficit. The Oceanside City Chiefs, 34-25 off above the Boston Irish Wolfhounds.
This Miami side is so fast. Off of set pieces, left hand, right hand, doesn't matter. I've seen them score magic tries throughout the entire year. Off of set pieces, they're probably the most dynamic open play team in this D2 Nationals competition. But we're dealing with an Oceanside team that are tremendously tough. They have been through the gauntlet. If you're beating a team from Boston in the semifinals, as the Boston Irish Wolfhound, who have a history of being a tough side themselves, you've proven your worth. I'm so excited for this game. Watch out for the tactical kicking of Miami. It's yielded great dividends for them over the season.
Under some pressure, though, at scrum time are the Tridents, and having to dig it underneath it allows the defensive launch to really come up, and somebody who skirts around the wing and has a lot of speed to burn is the number 11. The Tridents already ready to play. Peretta, he gets it in for the first try. 5-0, Miami on top, and about 2 minutes gone.
Big Blake. Here in the state of Florida, they call him Fast Blake. That's it. That's the only name he has. That's his nickname, Fast Break. Running the behind the back, out the back play, and this is what I was talking about this Miami Trident, and he might have knocked that on going in the score, ladies and gentlemen. Referees on top of it and called it fair, but again, this is a very, very solid attacking team off set pieces. They've scored some of the best tries that I've seen over the course of this year on set piece. We've just seen them put one away. They're clinical, and one thing about this Tridents team as well, they get off to fast starts. I've seen them put up 40 points on a team in the first 30 minutes of a game before, and it was almost like clockwork.
Number 10, Marowitz, a life grad, will get set for the conversion.
Where did he graduate from?
Life University. Kick goes up, and it's to the left a little bit, so our score will stay at 5-0. Miami Tridents are on top. Now, Lance, we just got finished talking about that Tampa Crew D2 final, where right off the bat, Phoenixville got in, and then Tampa Crew kind of went ahead and ran with it. It's still anybody's game, only about 5 minutes gone, but let's take a look at this try.
Look at Blake, so far deep, coming all the way from the left side. They run a skip and then out the back. And one thing you don't adjust for is a guy that big moving that fast. Once he got through the line, we knew what time it was. And like I said, he might have knocked that going in. But fast Blake with 5.
Ball goes up, it goes 10, and Miami Tridents just not able to field that cleanly. And referee Ford will blow it up for a knock-on. So now the first opportunity for the Chiefs to attack is going to be within the 40.
And let's see what the Chiefs can do. They had a really strong push on that try from the scrum. It looks like these forward packs are going to pack down and have an absolute battle during the course of this day. Weather might play a bit of a factor in it, but let's see how both of these teams handle the pressure against each other.
Under a little bit more pressure was that Oceanside scrum. They do well to get it away, and moving it through the hands are the Chiefs. Getting bottled up, though, is Tatoa. And the forwards come back from the right-hand side. They've got a couple of options there. They elect to go to the inside back row player. Prop, though, is met heavily there. Valdez not getting a lot of go forward off of that one. They go behind the backs of some forwards. Some dynamic movement, gets a little bit of space open, and a behind the back of Marowitz. The pass almost goes. It's unsuccessful, though. It gets knocked on there by the wing. And so a scrum on the opposite side of the pitch. And that looks like the knock-on came off of number 6, Vega.
And I mean, there was opportunities there. If that's caught, they probably would get corralled down. A lot of players had the angle, had the situation going to the corners. But then it's a whole different set of arguments and fights. If you have a team that's so spaced out defensively, stretched on the edge, going back can really give positive results. But Miami Tridents able to hold that pressure. And now again, they have a set piece, and they're going back on attack with their strong hands. These are right-handed passes now. Let's see how these look.
Oceanside have a lot of changes in that front pack than what they played yesterday. So the scrum holds strong, and right off of the bat, Marowitz just goes straight to boot, and it looks like it might have gone off of the right-hand side there, goes straight out of bounds, so it'll be a line out going in favor of the Chiefs at the 40. And Lance, just a couple of mistakes at set piece for both sides here. Might be the fatigue, or I don't know, might be the teams feeling each other out.
Yeah, it's going to take a little bit of adjustment. I expect Marowitz to get his boot in order. He had a few misses yesterday, already out of line on the conversion and with that kick for territory. But they depend on that boot, and it's done great work for him over the year.
Miami Tridents contest the Chiefs at line-out time, and they are successful in getting it back. So they move it to a forward pod that comes around on the left-hand side, securing the ruck and getting some Chiefs players out of the way. We'll see if they elect to go for the boot, and they do. It's a high kick, almost gets to the sideline, but fielded well. A little bit of some footwork, gets him through. He gets him through another defender, and then that pass gets the movement and the ball going. They're now well over the 40. And they're continuing to press on, trying to get around the corner. They finally are brought down at the 22. Support comes in quickly, but so does a counter ruck from the Tridents. They've got a wide attack here stationed up as the number 5 takes it right into traffic off of the scrum half. Almost got isolated, but they do well to field it. The launch is connected, well met, and taken essentially straight to ground was Enosa Jr. And the ball just gets lost a little bit ahead of Cassidy for the Oceanside Chiefs. And so there's going to be a scrum that goes in favor of the green and black.
What a line break by Oceanside, showing a bit of that dynamics. But they somehow have to find a way to stop making these unforced errors. That is the third knock-on from this Oceanside team without the help of the Tridents. This isn't high pressure. This isn't any of those kind of mistakes. Oceanside is just not cleanly possessing the ball. And that was a great break as they found the space. I mean, the numbers are matched. Good way for Miami to link. He had an opportunity maybe to go to the outside, but that was a great soak defense to able to corral that line break.
Scrum wins in favor of the Tridents. They go right to the boot of Marowitz, who kicks it straight out of bounds. Again, that's 2 for 2 now, going not in Marowitz's favor. So that's going to be a line now well within the 40 for the Chiefs. And just time and time again, the Chiefs have gotten an opportunity to score.
They're in a great position. The first kick going out of bounds didn't really mean much, just gave them a new opportunity to attack. Here they have a new bit of life off of that kick because essentially now they have nothing to lose. They're in the green zone, attacking zone. Let's see what what they come up with. And unfortunately, again, knock on.
Lineup's just not going in favor of the Chiefs. We can see the flags and the trees kind of moving, so wind possibly playing a factor there, especially with the kicking game. We'll see if either side make the adjustment.
They can't keep expecting the opportunities to be given to them the way they have, though. Oceanside has been given multiple chances to stay on that side of the pitch. Let's see how they defensively can hold, because you know Miami's going to go for the kick now. They're going to try to get this right tactically. The 50-22 seems to be open option for them.
Gomez Escobar has to really dig for that one. Moves it to the left-hand side to Marowitz, who runs a looping play and loses the ball backwards. He does well to clean it up, though, but this defensive launch coming in from the Chiefs puts him under a lot of pressure. Miami have to come back, and they just go straight to the boot to try and relieve some pressure. He's got some time to recover well, is Inosa. Looks like, though, there was an offsides call against one of the chasers, so going straight to it is Inosa. Inosa gives a footwork inside. Tries to find some support within Cassidy, and they bring him to ground. And now Wright will go ahead and dig it out and move it wide. And unfortunately, yet again, another knock on by Valdez. Gets it right into the hands of the Tridents. And somebody who almost got away was the fullback, Corello. And so now the Tridents are just going to slow it down. Go ahead and they connect well with Marowitz in the boot. It was at the 22, and it goes straight out. So that's a good clearing kick.
Thank you, Enrique.
Despite the 11-mile-per-hour winds here in Austin, Texas.
And Oceanside should take a really deep breath. Francisco Perello yesterday was absolutely running shop. Every time he had the ball in open field, it was a chance to score. Able to corral him and drag him down, but he had already made a few people miss and break the line. If you let this man get confidence, get loose, get open into this matchup, he is going to break it open.
And what a crowd here to watch this D2 final for the Tridents and the Chiefs, as the Chiefs now get the ball rolling on the ground, knock it on again. So now the Tridents are just going to play off of this turnover. It looks like advantage might have been gained here. So now it's anybody's ball. Somebody gets a little isolated there, and referee Ford is just not happy with the not rolling. And right here we see the fingers automatically go up from Gomez Escobar, and they go for the penalty kick.
You can't fault that decision, but he goes right down the ground. Hard to tell if he was really supporting his weight the right way, but there was a guy that was stuck underneath that and was basically keeping Trident's players from supporting that ruck. Not rolling away, and now they're going to go to Morowitz's foot again. He's been 0 for 3 on kicking attempts as far as positive outcomes, but this right here is well within his range, closer to center, and it's also lower pressure circumstances. He has time to breathe, think. If he knocks this down, it does great for the Trident's chances, especially moving forward into this matchup, getting 3 points whenever it's available.
gives it a hard hit. The distance looks good, and it goes right in between the sticks. So that's going to bring our score 8-0. Miami on top over the Chiefs. And Lance, just these penalties really racking up for Chiefs. If we think about penalties in meters made, we've given about 40 meters now to Miami.
And not even just the meters, the knock-ons as well. 3 opportunities inside of their green zone, attacking privilege laid out for them, and just can't handle the ball correctly. As well as earlier, which gave up the try set piece knock-on that set up Miami to score at the beginning. They got to clean that ball handling errors up.
A big, deep kick doesn't find hands within Miami Tridents, and it does roll out. We're about 10 meters outside of the Chiefs try zone, but the line-out is going to go in favor of Miami.
Thank you. Time. 9. I need 2 meters in the line out. You're a bit close. Make sure you give space.
Perfect. I got it. Thank you.
Duffy, the number 2, who you just saw on the screen, didn't play yesterday. A lot of changes here in this Chiefs side from when they played against the Irish Wolfhounds yesterday. So both teams playing some tactical rugby. Miami goes up in the front pod. They do well to field it. And just look to relieve the pressure as they go straight into the confident boot of Merowitz. Merowitz clears the kick. Gonna go right outside of the 22 there, but take a look at these flags. They elect to skip the line out and they go quickly. And it doesn't look like Miami was really expecting it. They've got an easy 2v1 here, but the defense from Merowitz, he comes across well. Trying to tackle him out of bounds. They're unsuccessful though, as Enosa Jr. is finally brought to ground. The ball goes up and it goes wayward. Yet again, another handling error. And the Tridents make them almost pay for it. Knocks it on there though, after an initial knock on from the Chiefs. And after the advantage was gained, Ford decides that Oceanside will get the scrum.
Ladies and gentlemen at home, just for the circumstances, let's all just take a deep breath, in and out, breathe in and out. You can see how the chaos on the field is happening. Oceanside not throwing these balls properly, not putting themselves in the best position, playing complementary rugby. Ball handling errors, passing errors abundant. Miami Tridents having these kicking issues early on. You can see the jitters of a national championship manifesting in front of us as this game settles in and these teams start to really adjust to the circumstances. Let's see if those things get cleaned up, because I don't believe either team is playing to the standard in which they hold themselves at present moment.
And both teams probably still recovering from those matchups from yesterday. Both equally scored 34 points. Point deficit just a little bit different, with Miami getting a 13-point differential versus a 9.1 than the Chiefs did. The Chiefs just need to show how they can score, but they're under a lot of pressure there at scrum time. The 8-man's got to work to get it to the number 10's hands. And this defensive launch from the Tridents puts them without any meters, and another knock on by Valdez, and then another knock on. You know, Lance, I've got to wonder if maybe it's just the nerves and the sweaty palms. Maybe they need to pull a little Giants and get some molasses, because we've had about 11, 12 scrums now, and it's only about 16 minutes gone.
And that's why we all needed to take a deep breath ourselves. These circumstances for these knock-ons and all of these issues aren't something that these teams depend on. Like, you don't depend on the other team to make mistakes in order for you to have success. So for each of these teams to be making these handling errors, even the first knock combined with the second, those kind of things have to find their way out of this national championship game. Appreciate the moment, but settle in and play the rugby that got you here.
The Tridents were under a lot of pressure there at the scrum, and somebody who got a little bit too overzealous there was Wright. So a long arm penalty goes in favor of the Tridents. Looks like the fullback will try and kick it straight out. It's in the center field, so we'll see if this kick will clear. It does. And it gets a decent amount of distance there. Goes out right after the 40. So they're about 45 meters outside of the try zone. And that was a successful kick from Perello.
And this is another thing. The new adaptation for rules for what the opposing 9 can do as scrums has eliminated the 9 to really put pressure on offensive scrum halves. So to be giving up penalties and giving this team the ability to kick down the field and gain meters the easy way instead of having to earn it through open play is an issue. They can't allow that to continue.
Wright is able to come up with it off of a messy line out, and then trying to get his hands in there was Mikali. He gets a lot of meters there. Ball hits the deck, and it puts Enosa Jr. under a lot of pressure there. A good double hit that you could hear even from up here. Comes in from the Tridents, and Oceanside looking extremely flat. They've got to make something out of nothing there, and they do. The number 15 gets it to the wing, who then steps back inside, works to get away from that last defender who never misses. The sideline, Wright moves it to Tawa, who gets it to a forward pod. Down underneath that was Matthews. Somebody who ends up underneath the mess as well was the number 13, who gets a sneaky little offload back to Wright. Not making a lot of meters here though, as they try and run a hard line and lose it yet again.
Wrong player.
And so Ford pulls it up for a scrum, go in favor of the Tridents.
Through your captain.
And again, the handling errors. And what we just seen a little bit, we just got a preview of it. Oceanside playing with speed, playing with a little bit of go forward, can find spaces and half gaps in this Miami Tridents defense. They had a few lanes that they could have exploited. The offload wasn't there, the support wasn't there, but that bodes well to their chances if they can pick up the pace, fix some of these handling errors, and they really put this Miami team under some danger.
Trident scrum is good, and the number 8 does well to get off of the back of that. He beats one flanker and then gets around the other one. Kraus sets up a good attacking platform, and somebody else who decides to get some really good points of contact was the Chiefs. Enosa Jr. brings Perello straight to ground. The number 4 is caught underneath there, though. The lock is going to get a not rolling away penalty. And somebody who doesn't really need it, though, is the number 9, the scrum half. He's making his way over the line. He's successful there, and that's going to bring Miami now 13-0. And that was Marcos Serafin Gomez Escobar who gets it over for the try.
And I mean, now we're talking about a breakdown in the most fundamental defensive structure of a side. Not protecting the space next to the ruck, allowing the scrum half, after taking a penalty for not rolling away, allowing the scrum half to have free reign to run in that open ace channel next to the ruck. Oceanside find themselves in a big deficit to nobody's fault but their own. Miami Tridents haven't put up anything that has been so individually or structurally spectacular. Oceanside is just giving up way too many opportunities, and a good team like the Tridents is going to capitalize on them if you create those errors for yourself.
Merowitz will take this conversion. It sounds like referee Ford is saying that water break will happen after this conversion attempt. And that wind not working in favor of Merowitz there. It rolls off of the tee. Merowitz has to get reset again. You see the ball threatening to come off, but Pereda, he comes over to just keep a finger on the ball, keep it steady. This is what we call the trust fall of rugby. Merowitz gives it a boot. Is it a joint effort? It's not. It's unsuccessful there, but we will go to the water break. 13-0. The Tridents on top. When Lance, talk us through this try. The Tridents really looking technically sound.
Yeah, after number 4 gets stuck in the road, Jay Cassidy unable to roll away. The penalty is given. Taking too long to get up off the deck, even though he's supposed to be that A defender with a little bit of hustle. And one-on-one against the fullback, Marcos Gomez Escobar shows him something that he wasn't expecting. Jitter, step off the left and left him in the dust. Absolutely great try individually for him to capitalize on that situation.
Oh, there they are.
And blessings to the Tridents because they are going up big early on.
Let's get in the shade.
We take a look at the Tridents coaching staff. Head coach Dimitrios Efthimios looks on.
Look at the uniform. They always do long sleeves with the tie, with the Miami Tridents tie, shorts or jeans. You gotta love the uniformity of the coaches. They definitely have their own swag about it, and it's fun to see them in Florida doing their thing and representing themselves that way.
All right, fair enough.
The real question is, you can really tell that they're from Florida. They're wearing pants in like 85-degree heat out in the middle of the sun. It's pretty warm out here.
We've had a couple of issues at the breakdown where black is not getting out. Usually it's been because they've got a poacher quick over. We had one who was a bit slow and it looked to be intentional to me, and we pinged him for it. We need to make sure Miami stays on space, right? The number 3 was off, and then we had the ball carrier run into number 5. I'm happy with that sequence of play. We just need to make sure to keep them honest, right?
Do you want that info?
Only if I mess up.
Sounds like Ford is talking shop about what the expectations are for the game with Davis and Alvarez, his ARs, next level rugby. We use the ref mics here because we like to be nosy and know what's going on down there. As the Tridents look like they are back and taking the pitch. And they are up 13-0, Oceanside. They're in the green and black. Now, yesterday, we watched a performance and a half by the Chiefs in the last 20 minutes. They came back against the Boston Irish Wolfhounds. Lance, you mentioned it already. It's not an easy feat to beat any team from Boston. So the Chiefs might just be settling into things, but they're just not doing themselves any favors there with all of the knock-ons that they've racked up here in the first 20.
The most dangerous team in this tournament is Miami Tridents when they're confident. Miami Tridents when you aren't playing your executable style of play. Too many knock-ons, too many early mistakes. The jitters of the first 20 minutes are dead and gone. You have to focus in on the next 60 because this game can run away from you against a team like Miami.
Ford set and ready for the kick. After Miami just scored that try, we'll have a kickoff receipt. It goes over the head of the front line of attack for the Tridents and gets caught behind the back. So they are within the 40 now as they look to attack out. The ball gets lost, though. It gets a little bit messy there. So Ford gives a hand to the left, meaning that the Chiefs now will get a scrum. And Lance, you've got to wonder if the Chiefs had an in-depth conversation with head coach Dan Atualiao about the knock-ons and how they were going to fix it for the last 20.
It had to happen. They had to talk about handling errors because if you take those out of the equation, this game is tighter. This game is in a double-digit situation. You wouldn't have gave up 2 tries, but now is a time of positivity. Can they set up something from the training yard on this first scrum after hydration?
Getting wheeled around to the right-hand side was Valdez, and a long-arm penalty goes in favor of the Tridents. And it just looked like Valdez, Swartz, and Duffy, the front row for the Chiefs, just were not able to withhold the pressure. Lance, let's take a look at what happened.
Look like we got the loose head from the Tridents, absolutely dominating. Players on the back end of Oceanside poking out of that scrum. Referee calling that wheel. Or the scrum being turned on safety. And if the Trident scrum is dominating and their set piece is scoring no phases off first strike, that is scary moment, especially in a national championship game.
Lucas will be a part of the throw in there. Set pieces will be a factor because it can just at the flip of the coin go in favor of the Chiefs there. So it goes back to Ford, but Lance, even at scrum time, the Tridents have been disrupting a lot of what the Chiefs have been trying to set up. So you can see Duffy, the number 2, talking shop about how they're going to combat that.
Yeah, and you think about earlier, the Tridents scored off of a knock-on that led to a scrum, which they hit on. The set pieces are going to be paramount because they're paramount in every match. The same reason why South Africa has such a lopsided forward sub situation for their World Cup finals, because you know that these scrums and lineouts mean so much.
The scrum holds strong, and it wills in favor of the backs, but the back line for the Tridents comes up and launches well against the back line of the Chiefs. They elect now to move it to the right-hand side and go to the big man who gets tackled quickly by the Tridents. This defensive line looks strong and steady. One thing that's not strong and steady, though, was the point of contact. After not sure who the number 5 is, they decided to keep them anonymous, so Mystery Man makes some good go forward there. Kick goes up, and it goes into the hands of Perello. Perello gives a boot back of his own. Somebody is offsides, or there's a call that is back at the 50. It goes in favor of the Tridents.
Scrum where it landed, which, Enrique, it's on number 3. It's you're where it's landed, so it's where our AR is, or penalty here.
Why wouldn't it be a penalty there?
Scrum,
Just a curiosity.
penalty.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
Best of luck.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll tell the scrum over there.
Merowitz, the captain, makes the smart decision to go ahead and take the scrum from where the kick bounced. So whenever that happens and the offsides call is made, they get an option. And so instead of taking the penalty back by the 50, they get about 20 meters worth of space now. And there is a conversation that happens between the captain, looks like that's Matthews.
I need you, Manu. Yes, of course. Hold me together, baby. Let's go, boy.
Scrum is set. We see there the try scorer, Gomez Escobar, pushing out towards his fly half. So they're looking to extend this distance here. Body height looks good from the Tridents, and there's a little bit of a ripple effect as they bully over top. The arm goes out to the right-hand side. There's an advantage Ford gives, so they just decide to risk it and chip it away. Merowitz goes over the line of attack and defense.
Good, thank you, Enrique.
It's fielded by the number 15, but it goes back for the initial penalty and lands some dominating stuff coming in from the Tridents at scrum time.
1 penalty forced already. Defensive penalty forced to get the ball away from Oceanside. Then milking a penalty on your own attack. And now Tridents are set up to go to the mall. They got their shopping bags ready. It is time for checkouts. Miami Tridents Mall has done devastation throughout Florida and the Gulf Coast. Now, can they set up this rolling mall to get in for points?
Going up into the back of the lineout was Lucas, and he meets it well. And Lance, you just said it. Can they cash out? Looks like they might have, and it'll be everything for the number 5 there. It looks like that was Windsor for the Tridents. Gets over. Score now 18-0. The Tridents and the Chiefs, no answer yet.
Everybody come and play. Let's go to the mall today. And I knew it was coming. It was obvious. Their forward pack has been absolutely powerful throughout this match, has absolutely changed and completely thwarted any opportunity that Oceanside had, on top of Oceanside's unforced errors. The mall was clean and clear, and they walked out with not only Prada, with not only Gucci, with not only Fendi, but they walked out with all of the gear, all of the clothes, all of the shopping bags from the mall. 5 points with a convertible kick to come. This game is going to start to get out of hand, and this is what they do to a lot of teams over the course of this year. They will beat you up early on, kill you in open play with their backs is so fast and dynamic. Use set piece as an absolute starting point. And here we go now. The Miami Tridents are rolling with the strategy that got them here, and it's working out big for them.
Merowitz does not get it through the stick, so 18-0. Our score will remain. Big old goose egg after Lance. Everybody went shopping here.
Everybody went shopping. Number 6 is on the second floor shopping right now, being lifted up as Liam Draycott gets lifted as he pushes in. Lands perfectly. And Caleb, who's a feature for Miami Tridents over the last decade, Not only is he a devastating ball runner, physical presence in the middle of the field, he scores a try, and on his off time, he's a model. And he's the model lock today, adding 5 points and extending his lead for the Miami Tridents.
Good, fine.
Kick goes up. They like to go a little bit deeper now, the Chiefs, and they go into the 22. It goes off the hands of one of the Chiefs players, so it pins the Tridents down in their own end after Merowitz just tried to clear that kick. And the defensive line looking a little bit more promising here. There's some more aggression that finally hit the Chiefs, it looks like. Let's see if they're tired of being down. They put Merowitz under a lot of pressure there. He tries to clear the kick. Almost. Enosa keeps it in, though, and the Chiefs stay playing. A nice little cut back inside buys them a little bit more time, as now the Chiefs are going to have to work back to start their platform of attack. Waiting for the ball is Mika Lee. Mika Lee offloads it to the mystery man, who gets it up and going. Valdez is met quickly by Serrano. Serrano ruins the hopes for the Chiefs.
Another bit of unforced errors again, right? This is a scrum that Miami Tridents dominated earlier in the matchup. But again, the unforced errors by Oceanside are killing their own chances. It's hard to win a fist fight when you're hitting yourself in the head. That's all I can say. It's hard to win a race when you're tripping over your own feet. That's pretty much what we're seeing today, ladies and gentlemen.
Ball goes in from Gomez Escobar. He's not under any pressure back there, so he slows it down. Merowitz has a little bit more time there, so they go straight to the boot. The ball bounces well into the 40. Enosa Jr. has to come across and gets it into the hands of the other Enosa, and they lose it. It's a knock on, and they continue to play on there, but the Chiefs, they just can't catch a break here.
It's hard to win a race when you're tripping over your own feet. That is, I don't want to keep harping on the unforced errors by Oceanside or the mistakes they're making, but for them to make a switch at fly half in the first half of a matchup says a lot about the circumstances of how this offense has been flowing. Oceanside right now have to make a change because this first 30 minutes has been an absolute waste of time for them to show their abilities of what they can do. They haven't been able to show their pride.
Time is still off. Yep, we still have time off. Thank you, Aaron.
Looks like we've got a man down for Oceanside. That might have been Enosa Jr. on the number 11.
I mean, and let's take a look at some of these set pieces that we've been given and seen so far from both of these teams. This is the scrum in which Oceanside had the offensive put and lost it because the Miami Tridents front pack is just too dominant. Here's a set piece in which there was a penalty given. This is the line out maul in which the Miami Tridents has a double-decker, guys on the top floor and the bottom floor, but drives all the way through.
Say that one more time.
Big set piece mistakes from Oceanside and two tries given to the Miami Tridents off a set piece action. They're rolling right now.
Can you say it back to me? I can't understand him.
No, I can't hear. I didn't hear him.
Looks like Enosa Jr. is still down, getting attended to by the medical staff. So we'll just wait for him to be up and moving.
Gotcha. Thank you, Enrique.
Looks like everybody is up and walking. Enosa Jr. is back up on his feet. He might have just taken a hard knock to the shoulder there. Just needed a second. And so the Chiefs now pinned down in their end. We've played a lot of rugby here in Tridents territory, an 18-0 in this D2 final for the championship. We've only got about 9 minutes left to go here in this first half before we go to break. And Lance, a lot of hard conversations are going to happen for the Chiefs at half.
It's got to happen in fast order. They have to find a way to get some energy back and get some points back, or the Tridents are going to run away with this one.
And a much better shove coming in from the Chiefs allows a big launch to come in, and it looks like that was a substitute. Smith gets one of the Tridents to ground quickly. And going to the line now is Kraus. And a possible knock forward. Referee Ford says play on though, and an intercept comes in from the tight head, Duffy. Duffy ends up with the ball now. And making moves right off of the jump is the Chiefs. Can they keep a hold of this one? Can they make it down into the try zone? They go ahead and they use the boot to get over the heads of the Tridents. They do well here. It's down within the 22. One wrong bounce could cost it for the Tridents, but they do well to keep it in bounds. And being in the 22, they'll elect to go ahead and go to the boot as well. Ball goes straight out of bounds right at the 40, and the Chiefs now will have an opportunity to attack down in this end.
Yeah, that right there is better play from Oceanside, sticking to tactics, getting the ball back after the error from Ivy Tridents. We thought it was a knock on, found a way to pass it, errant pass, and someone got active. First it was a prop who got their hands on the ball. Oceanside able to clear their lines, and now they're in the green zone with a great attacking position.
Not straight though, yet again for the Chiefs. Valdez just not able to connect with that middle pod there. And so it'll go right back into the hands of the Tridents, and only time will tell, but it looks like they're all gathering around for a scrum.
And that angle was so far off. As soon as he threw the ball into that line out, you can see the hooker putting his hands on his head. Sometimes things don't go right, but there's always time to fix it. First half isn't over. They just got to lock in.
Tridents locking in at scrum time there. The ball goes out, and luckily somebody is there to clean it up. The number 6 gets it to the wing. It bounces on the sideline, but it stays in somehow. He gets a second touch on it. Vega gives them a platform that they need. Can they give an answer before the half? They just got to hold on to it. Name withheld. We're not sure who the number 5 is. He takes it in, though. He's made some big hits, and another big collision comes in from the number 4. With a no-wrap tackle, though. Referee Ford not happy with that from Serrano.
Captain.
That was bad.
No.
Yeah, just a lot of line speed, got short.
The height was fine, right? It was below the threshold we need. We need to have a clear wrap.
Okay.
Penalty only. This is a warning.
Next one. Yeah.
And Merowitz
And the last thing
cool there.
Time is on.
The last thing the Tridents would need in this situation is a yellow card. Defensively, they've been optimal, doing exactly what you need to do against a team like Oceanside, which is chop tackles and get those big guys on the ground immediately. If you notice, there hasn't been any real leg drive from Oceanside, except in this moment right here where a flanker gets loose and has an opportunity. But if that pass goes to hand, we're talking 7-18 instead of a penalty kick right now. But it's just the small things that's really been the issue with Oceanside. They're showing bits of life, which I love to see, but they got to find a way to perfect some of their approaches right now.
This could mean everything for the Chiefs before they go into half. Just a little glimpse of hope would mean the most. Boot in front of the ball, though. I guess we'll figure out who lost a shoe here in a second.
Scrum cap.
Or that might be a scrum cap. Looks like a going up, gets the kick, gets the distance, and gets the flags up there. So 3-18, Chiefs, 36 minutes gone. And all thanks to Enosa Jr. off of that penalty, the Chiefs finally get some points on the board here.
Enosa JR, way to put your team on. 3 points goes a long way. And that kick wasn't easy. It came from a bit of ways, about 35-ish meters off center. Good job by Oceanside, finding a way to get some points on the board before this half.
The Tridents decide to pin them back in this end, and just taking his eyes off the ball for a second was Ortega. Luckily his counterpart wing, Ayala, was there to clean it up, so they wait for the forwards to come. Forwards do a lot better to go ahead and find those little gaps. Duffy gets some go forward for the Chiefs. Holds onto the ball well there. They go to the boot, and a little bit of a show and go happens from the number 4. The number 15 just keeps going. They get well out of the 22. They're now almost at the 40. And that was some impressive stuff there. Getting creative are the Chiefs, as they've got a multi-layered attack. They use the hands. Enosa Jr. just made that penalty over on the far right side after the Chiefs got down in this end on a penalty with Miami. Miami, though, coming up and making some big hits. That was Torres Garcia that brought him to ground quickly. And now it looks like the Chiefs are starting to flatten up the attack a little bit as they get set to either clear.
In front of the 22.
They do go to the boot this time, find a little bit of space there. It goes right through the 40, hits the hands of Merowitz. Does Merowitz keep it in? Looks like he doesn't. It was almost too athletic to be true there. So ball goes out of bounds, and we'll hear what they have to say.
Okay.
A little bit of handbagging in the last one.
Do we have a number? What color?
Both sides.
Both sides?
Green and skated, but it's just handbags.
Okay.
I'll keep an eye for after.
So again, the Tridents have a line speed defensively, especially when they know they got to go get some forwards. They're closing the space epically. And it looks like he might have had an opportunity to save it. Maybe he was out of bounds, I'm not sure, but good work on Oceanside figuring out a way to get to clear their line.
Guys, it's white line.
So it's going to go in favor of the Tridents because he did kind of tap it out of bounds. The ball does not go straight to both sides. Both hookers really struggling with that line out. We can see the wind back there, so Ford blows it up, and then it's going to go in favor of the Tridents.
He was his foot was in touch when he dove for it, so it was in touch completely.
Linsa, I gotta wonder what you think about that call.
I mean, I'm just glad it worked out in the favor of Oceanside to where now they have the ball, because I'm kind of arguing and trying to figure out at what point was the ball out of bounds. Is it when he touched it? Was he completely out? That is a tough circumstance. But the not straight line out saves me from critical thinking in this moment. And we get an Oceanside scrum.
Yeah, us commentators don't like to think very hard. We just like to talk. Right there, referee goes ahead and he blows it back up. So Ford is just talking to the front row, trying to get on the same page here. And the Chiefs are in a very good attacking position, about 30 meters out. We've got about 40 seconds left to go here in this first half. And it would mean everything if they could get another score in before the half. Going quickly off of the back was Mika Lee. Mika Lee gets some meters after diving at the knees, and now they move it through the backs. There's room to burn here, but he does a show and go on the inside. That almost gets him through, but a double tackle gets the Tridents back on the front foot here as the flat attack from the Chiefs. Can it be enough to break this impenetrable defense, it seems like, from the Tridents? They launch well, and they don't make the initial hit. They do make one, though. The number 4, Serrano, just got a talking to for the no-wrap tackles. He stays down to stay out of the play as Mystery Man takes it into the guts of the Chiefs. Still remaining strong, though, in the point of contact is Matthews. And then moving it behind the back, the number 21, the substitute, tries to keep his feet moving. Arteaga gets a lot of phases going together for the Chiefs. They really want this try before the half as they continue to move the ball. Ball goes wider. Looks like there's some open space. A good step back inside. Catches the Tridents off kilter there. The inside center dives over and loses his feet. Petinari. And so we'll see what the Chiefs decide to do here.
Captain, option.
So pay attention to this for me, Darian. If you notice, Oceanside, when they go to their forwards, are flat-footed. Miami Tridents are very confrontational when they know it's going to the forwards, and they're launching up, especially those first 4 defenders closest to the ruck. And they've been closing out that space. Slowly but surely, as this game has progressed, Oceanside has found a way to not be stopped immediately when that happens and be able to get a step behind some of where the Miami Tridents defenders are on approach. That is creating space on these second phases, third phases when quick ball comes around. If Oceanside can continue to build phases the way they have, they're going to find a break. But this is tough sledding because Miami is bringing ferocious tackling ability.
Scrum gets pushed backwards and it's deep with the number 21 there, but an outside center gets a break. That was Daly. Daly gets over there. Somebody else has their hands in there. Was this a big play? It was by the opposing Perello. Perello gets a not releasing penalty there, and just heartbreak for the Chiefs. No points will be awarded because this looks like it'll be the last play. of the first half. He goes ahead and gives it a tap, gives it a boot, and that'll bring us to halftime for the D2 men's final. Miami on top of the Chiefs here, 18-3.
Yeah, and it's well deserved from Miami. Oceanside has made so many mistakes, especially in the first 30 minutes, that's really kept them from being outside this game. Glimmer of hopes, forcing a penalty, getting some conversion points. Glimmer of hopes on their attack later in this first half, around the 35-minute mark and after. But let's see what they really can do as this game goes on. Look at this try here. Skip out the back, finding Blake, and fast Blake will not be stopped, will not be slowed down. Next try, or excuse me, points there after that is a maul try. Again, the Tridents front forward pack have been putting on a devastating play over the course of this first half.
Ready. Major League Rugby is now.
For a second, if you could, take a seat. The scrum is becoming a weapon, right? Yeah.
Let's get ready. Major League Rugby is now.
This is the moment we waited for. Everything you want is right here. We gon' give them what it came for. We gon' take it up from last year.
The Rugby Network is giving you all the free MLR content you want, live and on demand. Never miss a hit, never miss a try, never miss your team. MLR on TRN. Never miss a match.
Rugby is a sport where teamwork truly makes the difference. In alignment with the values of rugby, Globant and Major League Rugby join forces in a powerful innovation scrum that aims to elevate the sport using the latest technologies. We are already co-creating digital solutions to impact the game, the fans, and the global community in a sustainable way. When technology meets passion, the unthinkable happens. Globant, technology that dares to delight.
The moment you have all been waiting for has finally arrived. The first rugby game that allows you to play and get rewards is now live. Step into tournaments, be the ultimate manager, earn free jerseys and match tickets. It is the heart of rugby, now in digital glory. Build your strategy using real player cards. It's your game, your moves. Buy, trade, play, and create your lineup. For cards, your legacy. Experience rugby like never before. Take your fantasy rugby experience to the next level. Join Overlay.
It's time to hit. It's time to pass. It's time to train, step, and tackle. It's time for tradition. And time for brotherhood. It's rugby time, America. It's rugby time, America.
Folks, we are here to make the fast food business faster. Many times we don't really know what to order, but there is a part of your body that always does.
Introducing Taste ID. Taste ID will revolutionize the way that your consumers consume.
With just one generous lick. Oh, sorry. There we go. Taste ID will create and order exactly the combo you would like to eat.
And apologies, there's just the one prototype, so y'all just feel free to share.
How do you know our customers will like it?
Like it? They're gonna lick it.
Nice.
Go ahead, lick it, Bob. It has an antivirus. You gotta lick it to get the French fries, Bob.
Come on, where's the Bob we saw last night at the hotel bar?
Get a technology partner that knows your business and your consumers. Globant, technology that really dares to delight.
May is Mental Fitness Month.
Major League Rugby has partnered with USI Insurance Services and Looseheads
in a united effort to tackle the stigma.
Together, we are committed to changing the game
with the mission of placing a mental health lead in every rugby club
around the world.
When we pick up the ball, we also pick up a legacy. A legacy that stretches beyond your current team. A legacy built on the backs of those who came before you with hard work. And for those who will come after you, we promise it won't be easy. But we'll be there, supporting you on and off the field.
From the Sharks, number 8.
Once again, Van der Hoven up in the air. Inciarte. Oitomen, he breaks. Will he have the support? Be there and support. It's a long run. Will he get there? He gets there. It's a try. Under the post. 7 points.
I chose to take Thorne supplements over another brand because they're sports backed. The products are also top of the line and they also taste great. It's important that the substances athletes take are tested for banned substances. One, because you want to make it a fair, even game, especially with the other players. And you want to make sure what you're putting into your body as an athlete is clean, researched, science-based, and it's healthy for you. So you want to put good in and get good out.
Yeah, Thorne has helped me a lot, especially in the last couple of months. I've had to pack on some weight to be able to play in this league. And I think taking creatine and protein every day and adding in a couple other things has made me a better athlete, a bigger athlete, stronger athlete, and just overall prepared me well. So I take creatine every morning when I first wake up. It's kind of like my checklist or part of my routine. I usually have a protein shake, a Thorne whey as well. So I usually just throw it in there or throw it in with some BCAAs. Whey protein definitely makes my life easier because I can come straight off the gym, straight off the pitch, and it takes 30 seconds to mix up a protein shake and get down some extra protein.
Rugby's always this macho setting that, you know, it's all about strength. You don't want to show any weakness, but the reality is that people do go through their own battles. Why is it important for us all within the rugby community to really kind of normalise this conversation that surrounds mental health?
We play in a very high stress situation all the time.
Welcome back, team, to the Round Rock Complex in Austin, Texas, where we've got the Miami Tridents here on your left-hand side in their blue and white jerseys. And then on the right-hand side, we've got the Chiefs in the green and black. 18-3. We've got the Miami Tridents on top entering into this first half. And just to give you an update for the weekend, right now we've got the Austin Blacks, who just recently won 86-0. Tampa Crew went ahead and took home the D2 with a 59-14 score. And then Nova, we just got word over the Vipers, won 44-12. So Lance, we talked earlier about the 2 R's, right? Resiliency and recovery. And these matches lately have been blowout games. And during that first half, the Tridents really dominated possession.
Yeah, and it seems as though that Oceanside just wasn't up to the task in the first 30-something minutes. Unable to catch the ball, couldn't catch a cold, couldn't catch a flu. But hopefully they'll get healthy in the second half, figure out a way to get on this scoreboard even more. The 3 points that was given to them were more of a gimme. Let's see what they can do for themselves and really display what got them to this national championship game here.
That's a good joke on Catch the Flu. I wonder who told you that one.
Me too, I wonder as well.
The touch line is Enosa Jr. Now, he's the only one right now, the number 11, that has any points to his name for the Oceanside And already Merowitz goes straight to boot there off of the kick that he just received. The ball bounces once, and then everybody seems to go up for it. And a hand goes to the right-hand side, signaling that there was a knock-on by the Tridents player. So referee Ford says that the scrum will go in favor. And Lance, we had a lot of replays about the set piece for the Chiefs and the Tridents. What was the adaptation? What was the thing the Chiefs needed in order to compete against the Trident scrum?
Well, first thing is they have to lock in and figure out a way to push against the pressure. The Tridents are absolutely milking any opportunity to force penalties on scrums. Line-out throws have been an issue for both teams, but if this if this Oceanside Chiefs front row don't buck up and get ready for the situation, they're going to be in absolute trouble. Also, there's a lot of Spanish speakers on the Miami Trident side. That's what you all hearing, fans at home.
It almost sounds like they're making a song. Everything about their language is so lyrical there. The song of the scrum for the Tridents holds up against the Oceanside scrum. They do well to get it out the back, though, and already finding a little bit of a split in the defense was the number 10, it looks like. We'll figure out who he is throughout this game. Just a hop, skip, and a jump through, and the number 8 gets his way into the line of the defense, but a penalty going against Garcia. Gets a scrum for the Tridents. They elect for that set piece, and their lineouts, they also generated a lot of turnovers there as well, so smart decision here early by them.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I understand the decision to go from scrum instead of quick tapping or going to the line-out situation. Great choice for them. But one thing it looks like the ref is going to pay attention more is that launch from this Miami Tridents defensive line has been absolutely ferocious. They've been moving up as quickly as possible. Maybe Oceanside coaches asked for the referee to keep an eye on that because we got our first offsides call given against the Tridents. Let's see if that slows them down near the breakdown as they launch on defensive lines.
Just getting caught a little bit in front. They have to go to the back where the center is waiting for it. Arteaga gets a lot of the go forward going. It sets them up, and they're all the way at the sideline, so they work it to the right-hand side. It goes to the playmaker, the number 15, who moves it to an awaiting forward, and it looks like one of the locks is a little bit slow to get up. Windsor in a lot of pain, though, it sounds like.
That shot, that hit was absolutely bone-chilling. Oh my goodness, I am so glad I am into commentary and not on the middle of the field for that one. Look at this collision, ladies and gentlemen. Head just got caught on the wrong side, and immediately once he got hit, he was grabbing at his face. That is Caleb Windsor. Pretty much a legend in the state of Florida, especially in South Florida, Miami area. He's been putting in work for the Tridents for years. Hopefully he gets up. Hopefully it's not a severe head injury.
Hey, quick word from me. We're offside and we're not wrapping our attack.
But man, that was a big collision, Darian. Oh my goodness.
And we are always very grateful to the medical staff that comes out to make these events possible. So it looks like he is getting tended to. Windsor just suffered a brutal collision with Mika Lee. Just got caught on the wrong side there. So Ford being patient. We hear some cheers go around, so maybe he's up. Looks like he is. That is a very promising thing to see. Just the risk of the game there, so good to see Windsor up.
I'm not quite sure if he'll continue to play, though. You can't stop the game for a head and neck injury, and he stays on the field. But he does.
And you have to wonder if it was a matter of maybe
Hold on, ref.
He has a concussion. If he's cool with his neck, it's going to hurt, but it's all I need to hear. Thank you.
Okay, so no concussion, neck injury. He'll continue. But goodness gracious.
And it's good. It's good to see him up and walking again. Everybody here that plays for the club rugby scene has full-time jobs, has families, has other obligations that they sacrifice in order to be here. So we risk these injuries because we love the game, but good to see Windsor back up and moving and ready to play. Referee, though, did a good job of communicating with the athletic training staff, and so we will play on. We've got a scrum at the 40. Looks like it's going to go in favor of the Chiefs. We've got Wright with the ball in hand, and we've got about 4.5 minutes gone in the second half. Still a lot of rugby and only about a 15-point deficit.
Only a 15-point deficit with no true signs of offensive attack. It seems a little bit more insurmountable as games goes on. Hopefully Oceanside, as I've been saying multiple times, can show their brand of rugby and get this game going for themselves.
Wright moves it to the number 15, who then gets it to the replacement. It's a 2v1. They get it to the hand, and then no. Knocks it on right by the sideline, and that looked way too perfect for the Oceanside.
They created a great opportunity for themselves, created a 2-on-1, but unfortunately was not able to hold that outside defender, and just the threat of him getting away gave the winger incentive to not catch it cleanly, worried about the hit coming in instead of the passage play in front of him. And Oceanside cannot go back to knock-ons and handling errors if they want to find themselves back in this matchup.
That pressure defense from the Tridents was instrumental in getting them the lead in the first half. Have our first collapse of the scrum, so we'll see what Ford has to say. Simply asked for a reset, so both front rows are going to be able to compete, but he switched sides, which means that one more infraction from either of those is going to result in a penalty going in favor of someone, and if you're a Chief, you don't want it in favor of the Tridents.
Especially not in this situation. You finally got him pinned back deep. Try to make the most of it.
Early drive comes in for the Chiefs. The tap kind of might have triggered them a little bit too early, and deciding to go ahead and go quick was Kraus. Kraus gets some go forward there. Not just some, but a lot of it. He ends up on the 40 now, and then they're going to go to the races there. Almost thinking about tossing it out the back was the loose head Mazouz, but he keeps the ball in the rough. A lot of bodies around for the Chiefs. They do a little chip kick through. Merowitz was on there with the number 13 ready to chase, but a long angry whistle comes in from the Ford, not happy with something in the backfield.
Advantage for diving over. That's the boys that we should have won. Whose replacement was it, Lee?
Right away was Merowitz, who did that little chip kick over and put them under pressure, but just very smart play coming in from him, just recognizing that he had nothing to lose off of that kick. It was risky play, and it just works in their favor. They get a pretty deep kick there. And it'll be a line out going in favor of the Miami Tridents within the 22. They've done it time and time again. And that Mall Lance, we talked about them going shopping. Is it too far out for them to try?
It's definitely far out for them to believe they can convert it and finish it, but they definitely can bring more players in and cause a disruption, milk a penalty, and it looks like they're on their way to doing that right now.
Got advantage.
Advantage given by Ford, so now the backs will go ahead and try and play quick hands. Get them caught though around that outside center channel. He does well though to keep the legs going, so they're within the 22 still. Doing an inside line. The lock tries to find his friends. Coming in is his opposing lock, Windsor. And Mazouz. Another new advantage coming in from the Chiefs. The lack of discipline there really getting to Ford here. They do a skip pass to the number 4, who then gives a looping play around, and he gets tossed up by Enza Jr.
16, get out.
And communicating to the mess of a ruck was Ford. A lot of different penalties that racked up there within the end. We'll see if he just gives the penalty or wants to have a conversation.
High tackle. Number 1.
And that high tackle was that was just tough. If he doesn't grab him there, then it's a walk-in try. Only thing he can reach for, he had a piece of the jersey with one hand, reached and grabbed around the shoulders and the top of the shoulders with the other hand, and it was immediately called. Safety is paramount in this game, and you got to call those. That's a dangerous tackle, but man, he didn't have any other choice. I'm glad there's no cards for it, but this 3 points is going to hurt just as much because now it turns back into an 18-point lead. And 3+ tries against the Tridents with 30 minutes left in the game is a tall order for a team who offense hasn't really got to starting yet and hasn't found a way to really play with the flow that they would like to.
No, you're not.
Marowitz gives the boot and gets them another 3, so 21-2-3. Miami Tridents are just racking up a score line against the Chiefs here. 30 minutes are left to go here, and now that we're entering into the 20-point mark, Lance, desperate times are going to really have to come from the Chiefs.
I mean, imagine if they had some kind of play or some situation earlier in the game they can lean to. Yeah, we can find success. We can get things going. But that's yet to really happen for them. But also keep in mind that yesterday, Indy was in a particularly similar situation and was able to ring off multiple tries as the game wore on. Maybe Oceanside has something in the tank to put points on the board as the game winds down.
Getting them out of the 22 was Perella, it looks like, and the Chiefs decided to go quick, not feeling very confident in their lineouts. It's been unsuccessful at set piece for them, so they like to go ahead and stay in open play. And Zoa Jr., the only try scorer here, decides to try and take it on his own, and coming up into the defensive line are the forwards and the inside centers connecting well. And so now there's a lot of work left to go for the Chiefs. The forwards take it up. There's a little bit of disconnect there. If they can find the gap, they do. And they're now making their way. Could this be what they need? They do an easy 2v1. A pop pass just knocks it right out of bounds there. And you can see the frustration coming in from Matthews. As the Chiefs just not able to execute these moments of brilliance. And then just the last bit.
And that wasn't even the last bit. It was still work to do. But like I said earlier, if they play with some speed, they can find gaps in this Miami Tridents defense. But if the handling errors persist, there is no one there. He's assuming that's one of his teammates. Both of them really had a shot to make a choice. Maybe the kick was there. It's easy to make those calls while I sit in the commentary booth. But high pressure right on the moment, couldn't get it done. And that's been ailing this Oceanside team the entire match.
Duffy just not able to connect with his lock, and so it ends up in the hands of the Chiefs. Vega's got it, and he gets to go forward that they need to continue on. They move it into the middle of the pitch. The ball goes out though. Somebody is offsides. The number 3 just not back, Mazouz. And so going quickly is Enzoa Jr. He offloads it to a lock who's ready to go. Matthews, he finally connects well. There's a penalty that comes in with the Tridents, and we're starting to see them put a little bit of pressure on themselves here, the Tridents.
Yeah, they are, and it's complemented to how fast Oceanside's playing. They're not settling for lineouts. They're quick tapping everything, and that can make a team dangerous, especially if open play is their specialty. But they have to find some way to add a little bit of their own sauce to this, or this game might get out of hand.
They use the open play. Oceanside try and attack, and only 5 meters outside, they get a not releasing penalty going in favor of the Tridents. And you can hear high fives all around because that does mean a lot. That was a power trip.
Yeah, and they needed to go forward. It was too much veering off the side away from their support. Got tackled at a weird angle and right on the footsteps of a powerful forward, able to easily poach. You can't move a forward off the ball if he's already standing still when a tackler lands at his feet. Those are almost impossible to clear out, and you just got to find better ways to move people before they can go in for the poach. Unfortunate circumstances for Oceanside.
Creep in the last 8 minutes or so, but we also have a lot of penalties around the breakdown, right? Usually the jackal, their timing is perfect. We need to have the tackler out before that can occur, right? Okay, so this is your warning on both of those because we've had a lot of great momentum get killed by those types of penalties. This is the warning. Got it. Let's get play. Yeah.
And our third commentator, referee Ford, setting a very hard standard at breakdown time. Definitely addressing it between the two captains, tells them that they've got to right that wrong because that is his warning, and you have to wonder if it's going to be the one and only after talking to both captains. So the Tridents now win the line out, and it looks like the ball might have gone forward there in the center of the pitch. So the Chiefs, we've got to talk about how they've had opportunity after opportunity in order to try and get some momentum going, but Lance just cannot seem to connect on that last bit.
And it's shooting them in the foot. It's making it hard for them to do anything, because not only does it stop your opportunity to score, right, but it kills your confidence for forward play moving on into the game because you haven't had anything to really build off of. What works for you in this game with this referee in this weather? It is 91 degrees, feels like 96. How do you operate under that without some current success through 50 minutes?
Oceanside now do a behind the back. They have a multi-layered attack, and big yikes. Lance, we have another knock on right at the 40 against the
I'm done talking about
Chiefs.
I'm done talking about their knock-ons and handling errors. I feel like I'm repeating myself a little bit too much. Just tighten that up, and we can really get this game going for Oceanside. Just too many drop balls, too many unforced errors. In that situation, that has to be caught. That has to be executed. If you can't make those happen, you're going to run yourself off the field before Miami Tridents can do it for you.
Looks like we have a substitute that comes in for the Chiefs. Number 17, Menchaca comes in at the tight head side. Loose head side, excuse me. The ball is fed in, and the scrum looks a little bit separated there. Somebody's arm goes up, Ford does. He puts it in favor of the Chiefs, and you can see the frustration already kind of hitting Miami, Lance. There's 24 minutes gone. It's a pretty big point deficit if you think about the fact that the Chiefs haven't gotten a lot of time down in their try zone, but Miami is starting to really rack up a lot of penalties here.
They are, and that's what's keeping Oceanside even close. This game could have gotten out of hand with a little bit more discipline, but penalty after penalty from each side is really giving the other teams opportunities.
Sir, why not use off arm out and holding him? Okay, if I see him grab, we can't have that. All right. We need your spine straight right there. He let go, so I kind of went through too. So sorry. I'll keep an eye.
Very good communication coming in from all sides there as we see the Miami Tridents in typical fashion. Sounds like that's kind of their trademark as the ties go billowing in the wind. You don't want to fix what's not broken, so the outfits have remained the same for them throughout the season. Here as the Chiefs get that scrum going, Multi-layered attack. The ball goes to ground again. It does not get knocked on. It does. 21. Looks like that was Arteaga. Knocks it on, and the Chiefs, yet again, are going to have a scrum against the Tridents, with the Tridents having possession.
Ditto. Ditto. I'm gonna say that instead of saying handling errors from here on out. The play is set up perfectly. They could have found some space on the outside, but just I don't know if it's sweat on the ball or what's been happening, but just unable to get a clean grasp on it. And the Tridents are happy for it. They're looking forward to any opportunity that Oceanside is going to just give them the ball. Look like it's contact went out.
Contact, yeah.
Guys, on that pass inside, remember the pillar, just stay there. Come up by draw, just stay there at the pillar.
And we're about 2 minutes away from going into our final water break, with the Tridents looking like they're going to go into the final 20 minutes on top, 21-3. Just heartbreak after heartbreak for the Chiefs. And so now we see that Lucas is back up and ready to play for the Tridents, so scrum will go underway. Gomez Escobar with the put in, one of the try scorers here in this D2 Men's Club Rugby Final. Scrum looks a little bit scrunched there, but putting on a lot of pressure is the Chiefs, and the scrum half as well. They get it away, and Merowitz gets it into the hands of the wings. They recycle well over the ruck, and they go behind the ruck here. There's green space back there. One person is waiting. He does well to field it and has hands on the ball, gives a step, gives the pass away to the captain, Matthews. Matthews works it back, and now the Chiefs are on the attack. Trying to get something going was Wright, but right over the top of that was Burnett. And so a junior decided to go for a drop kick, the number 11. And the chase is on, takes out the defender who didn't have the ball, unfortunately. And off to the races is the number 15. If you let him go, can he make it all the way? The number 15, Perello has a little bit of a celebration there down in the tri-zone. And Lance, that might have been the nail in the coffin against the Chiefs off of what looked like a big turn of events.
I said it before, I'm going to say it again. You let Francisco get the ball in space. He is a dangerous man. He is very hard to stop. He's been doing this all season. Inside out move and just left everyone from dead. The space was already there as soon as he caught the ball. Just had to beat one defender, beat another one, and before you know it, again, Miami is adding to this league. Too many mistakes by Oceanside, and Miami are rolling. The Tridents with another try. Man, what a match for the Tridents. What a defensive showing for the Tridents.
Two dominating sides from Florida coming out for the D2 finals, and with Tampa Crew beating South Buffalo 59-14, and now the Tridents really racking up a point deficit, 25-3, and no tries for the Chiefs, simply a penalty kick that got them at least on the board. Merowitz, the playmaker for this Miami Trident side, the fly half, has really led the brigade. The captain will get set for the conversion.
I mean, if we're talking about a how-to plan to give Tridents the upper hand in a matchup, it's not threatening them offensively with handling errors, and we've seen it from Oceanside. In that case, we've seen them kicking the ball to their most dynamic ball carrier. Conversion is good, but a lot of the things that the Tridents needed to have a easier showing in this first 60 minutes of this matchup have been given to them. 25 points in 20 minutes. I've seen it done before, but never in a national championship game setting, never in the big times like we're seeing right now. Oceanside body language says a lot.
I've moved the seat behind you.
But man, this game is getting out of hand for Oceanside. We'll take a second. I'll take a second to step back and let these guys get hydrated as we get back to this action very soon.
Right, okay, trends. I'm seeing some foul play creep in. We've got some frustrations, right, on black. They're The last 5-10 minutes, they've pulled it back in, but we were getting a bit overstretched. Both teams on one foul play. We're getting close to that expiring, I think, if the temperament continues, which is a good thing. Scrum's been fine. They're complaining about the flanker coming off. I think he's fine. If he's fine, goes up, he grabs the 9. I just hear about that, right? Something about the ball. I haven't caught it yet, but I'm also not focused in on that aspect. When teams are under pressure, both teams, they're committing more infractions. They are unwanting for that. We haven't had them under pressure again. If we see that type of penalty, we're definitely thinking we would be more intentional. Yeah, other than that, I think it's just a fun game. Boys are having fun. Temperament's pretty good. It has been pretty good. Like I said before, it was rising and it's calmed down a bit. Anything else? Yeah, I think that's fair. We need to continue to be diligent on space. White 3 has been fine. He was in front and he needs to wing there, and then ended up being recruiting material. He did not respond to me when I told him in the last play. Again, immaterial, but we need to be diligent on that.
When I'm out ready,
I'll let you know. TV ready? White captain! Black captain.
Welcome back, team, as we get back underway for the D2 men's final 20 minutes here, 28-3, Miami on top. And my name is Darian Lovelace. I'm joined here by Lance Kavanaugh. Lance, you've got to wonder if we're finally going to see the frustration of the Chiefs start coming out in the aggressive attacks of play. Right here, we're already seeing ball finally go to hand and long. Good passages of play there, and this might be exactly what the Chiefs need. A boot flies off. We'll get more of Lance comments on the first 60 minutes here in a second, but the Chiefs finally have a fire lit as they continue to press on there. Hitting it up right in the middle, though, was the mystery man. Don't have a name on him, unfortunately, but the Chiefs now continuing to press on. We know who Mika Lee is. He takes it in, and they make it right at the 40, and now they do a multi-layered attack. Unfortunately, Arteaga just doesn't have any options there. He uses the option to go ahead and go and just almost loses the ball forward, but that was kind of the curse of the Chiefs here early on. Maintaining the attack, though, is right as he hits some more forwards, and then the leg drive gets them within the 22. Hello, Chiefs. Welcome to the D2 final, as now they continue to press on, electing to go quick. Somebody who stops him dead in his tracks was the Miami Tridents, and now they're contesting heavily at the breakdown. Flanker, Torres Garcia, puts him under a lot of pressure, so now they're just going to use the pick and go just to set the platform. And in the 22 now, they get an advantage. Looks like a not rolling away penalty on the Tridents. They give a skip pass, though, and out waiting there is some speed. They cut back inside. This looks very well thought out by the Chiefs. Could this be the frustration and the aggression they needed? The last 20 minutes are really revving up for them as Mystery Man takes it in at the 5. Getting caught underneath there is a Trident. He rolls out of the way, and the forwards are there waiting. Coming right across from outside of view was Fez Verkiai. And the Chiefs are at the line. Referee Ford is down on a knee. It's not a try, but there is a penalty going in favor of the Chiefs. And Lance, we have not seen the Chiefs act like this for most of these 60 minutes.
This is the most sense of urgency we've seen in this last 35 seconds. Putting Miami Tridents under real threat. It looks like that ball might be down, but I can't tell from here. If he can't call it from on the field, I'm definitely not going to call it from the booth. But again, we're looking at Oceanside.
Time is on? Yeah. Hey, time. What's the call? No, bro.
Not rolling away
Sorry,
is the call right there.
I wanted to
they
let the ref
talk
breathe.
about-
I'm sorry. But we've seen a little bit of urgency from them. They're playing a lot more confrontational. Look at how the forwards are in forward progress before they get the ball on some of these hit-ups. Look at some of the decision-making coming from other players other than the scrum half to go which direction. You got guys pointing out they seem a little bit more in sync in that early part. But 15 minutes left, 25 points. Can it be done?
Coach for the Cheese looks on. That's Atualiao. I wonder what comments he had to say for each of the breaks there. Under a lot of pressure, though, was the scrum, but Mika Lee gets it away to the 21. Arteaga, he's got to stay inside. He gets it ripped away. The Chiefs lose it again against this Tridents defense. Florida Gang not allowing much room for the Chiefs to get anything going there as yet more frustration sets in. The ball finds touch. They think about going quick, and they're going to have to go to the line out, which for set piece hasn't been very successful for them.
At least not early on. Hopefully that water break breathes new life into their souls as Miami adds another substitution in. Rob Laura, an absolute legend in the Miami area, getting on the field for a national championship game. As you look at the Tampa Bay crew, watch on and support the Tridents. Florida is really supporting each other here in Austin Round Rock Multi-Sports Complex. But this lineout is going to be crucial. They got to win one today, and this has to be the one that they win today.
They do win it today, but it is kind of messy there as Wright gets it away after somebody tries to kick it, and the ball gets a little bit wonky. Might have gone off of the hand of a Trident, so the scrum is going to go in favor of the Chiefs, and it's right at the 50 on the right-hand side.
Well, really the situation is if you run into the referee, especially if it causes a situation where you have an advantage on someone who is going to tackle you, he has to blow it up and has to call scrum. Good job on the sir having clean control of his match. It looks like we have a calm situation.
Aaron, do you hear me? Got you. Good. Lovely.
Lineout takes a strange bounce. Ball is passed, and he runs into the referee. Referee has to make that call, has to stop play. He's not involved. Good control by the sir.
Hit him so hard that he had to fix his microphone. These are some athletic guys out here who just have sacrificed a lot to be here. You can see what it means. You can see the affection coming in from the Tridents, coached by Efthimiou. The coach, his first name is Coach Demetrios. That's all that we know definitively, as he'll have something to be proud of here as the coach of the possible D2 champion. But one person who is just not ready to let go is the number 12. He gets the good go forward that the Chiefs need, and it leads to some more fire coming in from Daly after Malaulau takes it through. Malaulau takes some more with him, gets an offload off to the flanker. Cassidy keeps the ball in play too as Wright goes ahead and gives it to the number 15.
Oh my
he steps
God.
inside, hits over one, and almost gets through two, but he gets tossed around by the Tridents. And the defensive line now coming up and getting low, but not low enough to take down Mystery Man. He gets tackled now. And this is looking a lot more promising. It looks like we've got a substitute who's just being a good orchestrator for Ruval Kaba for the Chiefs. There's a little fire underneath him as he distributes well. And the ball carriers now are just leading the brigade for the Chiefs. And now it's going to go to the Fasties. They go ahead and they do a little bit of a weave inside. The Tridents holding strong, though, in their defensive integrity. Don't allow the Chiefs to get much through. You've got to just go ahead and take it in with one runners. Mystery Man takes it at the line. We don't know what his name is, but we know what he's going to do. He's going to get some go forward there as Duffy, or excuse me, that was Swartz, takes it. And then utilizing the forward still continuously. A little bit of a cheeky play, catches the Tridents, not paying much attention there. Somebody's staying strong at the point of contact, and it's the Chiefs. And hearing the rumblings and the frustration coming in for the Chiefs. Did he lose it? The ball kind of went wayward. It looks like it went backwards. Ford is still letting them play. 2.5 meters out. Can the Chiefs do what hasn't been done yet? Can they get a try? Using the pick and goes now. They protect the ball. Ruvalcaba moves it to the number 15 who runs an inside line. It looks like a possible switch was trying to connect with Vega. And Ruvalcaba goes over the top and gives a pass to the number 12 on the Tridents, Katanari.
I am undecided.
Okay. Hold on, let me listen to the ref.
I'm a sub. Sub, stop. Hold. Hold. I'm unsighted. What do you have?
Okay. 12 white.
Yes.
Leaped for the ball.
Yes.
Knocking it on.
Okay. The long channel.
Long channel. Yes. There's a player on the way.
Okay. So we have an intentional knock. It sounds like yellow card.
I agree.
And it was 12.
Correct.
Captain.
Oh, they're going to be down a man for the rest of this game.
Yes. Captain. 12. Back, please.
Portinari is going to have a seat.
Back, please. Where's 12? Yes, time is off.
Oh, the one he almost had that. That was
high risk, high reward.
1-0. Yeah.
Marowitz, the captain of the Trident side, just advocating for his player because he knows what might be inevitable. Ford's already, we know that he's getting a yellow card, but we'll wait for Marowitz and Panatari to get the news. And you can hear him say that's rough. We know it is. It's about 10 minutes only left to go here in this D2 final, but 28-3 Miami, even though Patanari is frustrated. You can see the coaching staff tell him to just brush it off. And take a look here. It looks like Patanari almost had it, but because of the fact that it hit hands and it could have possibly been a score, it did impede the path of play. The Chiefs now get a penalty, and they're going to try their best to get some points as Matthews is set for the tap. And the Tridents already foaming at the mouth. They are also ready. Matthew just gets hit by 3 Tridents. Runs right into basically the front row as they continue now to use the pick and go. They get to go forward. They've got 2.5 and the Chiefs lose it again.
Knock on.
Tridents keep them out. And a knock on by the number 6, Vega.
Yes. Replacement 5 white. 5 white sub.
Good leg drive, way to clear everything out, but never had the ball clearly as he picked it up. And just as the knock-ons continue for the Chiefs, they're gonna look back at this game and have many regrets on their ball handling and in those circumstances. I can't say whether it's the recovery or what happened in day 1, but they haven't been playing to the standard that they hold themselves to.
Looks like they possibly might have lost their fly half here early on in the game, so substitutes have to be ready, and sometimes teams just need to regrow. Marowitz almost gets caught with it behind, so he's going to go ahead and just attack out. Not an option there for him to kick, as looks like a lot of the Chiefs are trying to get their hands in there. The number 7, the flanker, almost gets his hand in there. Cassidy goes straight out, and they continue to play on. Don't want to go to the line out, so they're going to continue to play. Isoa Jr., the one who's the only one who has points on here, gets a nice pass off, gets it to the 23, the substitute, who is trying to round a corner, but his crumb cap gets thrown off there by this Tridents defense, and like a wave, the Tridents come in, and they cause a big turnover. Big man's got it, keeps it in with the chip kick. Now we are playing some creative rugby. The Tridents still have more in the tank. They get well within the 40, and they're moving the ball now well. Marowitz, there's a lot of people flying back
Yellow
in.
card,
A knee to
yellow
the
card.
head. Comes in, we'll see what the call is.
I don't know how that wasn't a card.
For the Chiefs.
7 black substitution. 7. Time's off. Hey, Jake.
Ball goes to nobody. The ball is on the ground, no wrap, just a shoulder into the head of the winger. Yeah. I don't like that even a little bit, but Oceanside now has the ball. And time is running out. Tick, 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 tick. The clock is dwindling. It's really giving Oceanside issues. They have to find a way to get points as soon as possible to get themselves a shot as this time winds down.
10 minutes left in this D2 final for the Club Rugby Championship. We've got some substitutes that have started to roll in for the Tridents. Everybody getting a little taste of what it feels like to be playing in a national final. Laura, the number 16, comes in at hooker and gets set as the scrum will go underway. Got to put in from Raval Kaba, the number 22 on Oceanside. Tridents putting on a lot of pressure there. They just continue to bully over top, and Mika Lee's got to go in there and dig it out. Artiaga now attacks and gets the go forward that he needs. Does find a lot of meters there. Trying to get their hands in there are the Tridents, but it'll be in vain. As now Matthews tips it to the forwards, and a nice low leg driving hit pins them back farther. They're under a lot of pressure, but they do want to move the ball, and now they get it to the number 23, who pops it back inside to Swartz. Swartz gets it into the inside center. Malalulu, and continues to pump his legs there. Stuck underneath there is the Tridents. We've got a player who looked like he was down for a little bit too uncomfortably long there.
That's a great bit of play from the Chiefs to find a way to get it to the space. Now that they're attacking with a little bit of urgency and incentive, they've really been showing a little bit of what they can do. We're talking about jersey tackles, barely getting a grip on shorts.
I think that player, even though we saw Windsor earlier take a pretty hard shot to the head, he got up and got moving. It looked like he stayed down for an uncomfortable amount of time. That looks like that might have been the number 14. Good to see him up. Might have been the number 9. We'll get a number for you in just a second, but medical staff back out tending to a Miami Trident player who is down. We do have confirmation now that it is Gomez Escobar, who's been quite the playmaker.
He looked like he was knocked out midair.
But we do hear the referee talk about how it looks like he was knocked out, so he's probably going to be off for the rest of the game.
This is good.
And he will stay.
Water's off. White scrum. White scrum, let's go, boys.
Deciding now to stay on is the number 9, Gomez Escobar.
6, I need you to stay in. Both of you are off. I just had a word with him.
And Mystery Man in the 73rd minute. We will now call him out. 5 for Oceanside is Shane Mila. So the mystery now has come to a close. Getting now underway is Gomez Escobar. It goes to the back after he just got up from a possible head injury, but they play on. Merowitz decides to go ahead and relieve a lot of pressure. A big booming kick gets well within the 40, goes out of the 22 of 50-22. Lance, this is your favorite. This is your favorite.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. With a yellow card on the board, down a player, up by 25, needing something just to extend the time. Immediately goes to a 50-22 and catches Oceanside napping. Matthew, take a bow, launches the ball, and we're talking about easily a 50-meter flip in space. What an exceptional bit of rugby from the Tridents over the course of the day. That is beautiful rugby.
Look at that cup. Look at that cup, Lance, in Tampa Crew's hands, 59-14. They beat South Buffalo. Now Miami Tridents, the second team in the final, look like they're going to take this and run away with it as well. 28-3. This is the time to be a Floridian here for rugby. And now going around the corner and slipping through is the number 52 time. He'll find his way down in there. Pirello, hearing the chants of Florida. The Florida gang gets their way into the tri-zone. And Lance, that's the nail in the coffin. That's the final play for Miami. No answers from the Chiefs.
Hold on. The line out isn't clean. Bobbles gets kicked back. Look at the kick pass. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Francisco, let them know it's time to go and go for the skull. This man is the MVP of the day. He's been one of the MVPs of the weekend, one of the MVPs of the team for the season. Take a bow, Corello. Take a absolute bow. What a masterful game by the Miami Tridents, an offensive display from Francisco. Congratulations to this team. And with that try, that basically puts this game out of reach. The Miami Tridents looks like they're going to cruise to a national championship after heartbreak last year.
Everybody's up on their feet after that one. Merowitz, the captain, will get set for a kick. And the Tridents are down a man. Petinari, the number 12, just got sat down for an intentional knock-on, and they still managed to get a score out of it. Kick goes up. Kick looks like it's picture perfect in between the sticks. Flags go up. Miami 35-3.
Awesome, thank you.
They're bouncing in the club with the heaters on. If you were born in the 90s, you'd get the reference. I'm aging myself.
The championship is going to Miami. Welcome to
Miami. The Tridents there are going to get a big cup of their own here, it looks like, for the D2 Rugby Championship. And the Chiefs just haven't been able to get much going here because of the dominating forces of this Trident side. Going straight to boot is Ensoa Jr. He hikes it up high, and the Tridents do it. A little turf monster causes a slip there at the 22. And now we'll see what Miami decide to do. Finding it in the boot of a double try scorer, Corello. Corello gives a good boot, gets it down. Arteaga holds on to it by a thread. Gets it to Ensoa Jr. Ensoa Jr. now tries to cook up something. A little bit of patience there. Gets him right at the 40. And the support comes in from the Chiefs. Kaba now moves it to Nika Lee. Nika Lee moves it wide. A lot of long passes for them, but the support just isn't there. Catches it with the rep as a peanut butter and jelly to that Trident Chiefs sandwich. You know, Lance, I don't think I've ever seen that happen before. That's determination to get the pass.
What an amazing catch. Hug the referee. Got to show love to the officials. He figured out a way to make sure that that wasn't dropped.
See you adding. Make sure it's positive, right? What do you mean? You're grinding your head in and you're shrinking your arm. Trying to get it there. That's a personal problem.
Referee Ford giving some correction here. Looks like we will have a scrum, but the coaching staff, you got to wonder if it was the players or the fashion that got them to this point here. Just showing how unified and connected their whole side is and what it means. Miami taking home this D2 final. We'll have them crowned here in about 4.5 minutes.
10 white off, 10 white off.
We will have 5 club rugby champions. Going on the other field is Belmont Shore versus the St. Louis Bombers. And the number 22 for the Tridents, Torres Garcia, he comes on and is going to replace the scrum half, Gomez Escobar.
Federico.
Quite the
Federico getting in the game, doing his thing. He's been repping Miami Tridents for a while now. It's good to see him out there doing what's necessary, getting his time on the field as this team clinches their national championship. And oh my God, the dominating performance continues, Darren.
Yeah, the Chiefs have just gotten a little bit too comfortable down there on the ground after getting toppled over by the Tridents. And we'll take a look at this scrum. This is just yummy.
Goodness, I know there's forwards somewhere that just love seeing that happen. Not so much for me, I'm back 3, you know how that goes. But Miami Trident set piece, dominating, continuing to show what it really means. And why not slow down the game, waste some clock, give yourself some time, and let the MVP, or soon to be, by my guesstimation, MVP, have a shot at goal. Add points to the board. This Miami Tridents team, undefeated on the season. In Florida, no one came close. Gulf Coast had a few closer matches, but still found a way to get wins. And just like that, going through semifinals yesterday, pushing off a late burst by Indy, Miami are rolling. The Tridents are doing big work here in Nationals, and they deserve this moment. Less than 2 minutes left on the game clock.
Borello casually walks up to the ball and then just slots it through for another 3 points. 38-3. The Chiefs on top, and the Chiefs coached by Atualiao do have something to be proud of. Second in the nation here for the D2 Club Rugby, and all of these players have had to make numerous sacrifices to even get the opportunity to be recognized, but we just talked about them time and time again. The Tridents, looks like Petinari will come back in for the final minute of this D2 Club final. In a kickoff, we'll see what the Tridents decide to do and how desperate the Chiefs will be. And so a junior gets ready to boot this one. He boots it deep. It's well within the 22 here. They elect to go ahead and kick. It hits off of the foot of Matthews. And the Tridents still have ball in hand. They flick it back, and luckily, confidently, Federico takes it, boots it over the top. And who's able to get it? We are unsure as the ball just kind of gets tapped around by the Chiefs. Knock on there. Referee looks at his time, so we still have time to burn here. But Lance, looks like the comeback story we were looking for from the Chiefs just won't be written this year.
It will not. And Oceanside, you have a lot to be proud of. They've been representing for California for a while. I understand that the knock-ons are probably a bit of a letdown for this team over the course of this matchup, but they definitely deserve to be here. And congratulations to them on their season. Unfortunately, just fell short in the national championship game.
Chiefs still continue to play on here as Nikoli gives it to Ravalkaba. The ball goes off of the foot of one, and so he's got to play it, as it looks like all of the Chiefs are just over on this left-hand side. Not really spreading out the attack here. The defense remains spread for the Tridents. Maintaining the line integrity, they come up and make another big hit on the Chiefs, who just catch it a little bit stagnant. Deciding to set deep here. Arteaga moves it to the outside center, gets it into the hands of the number 23, and so a junior, who's the only scorer for this. He gets tackled out of bounds, though, after an attempt to kick. A knock-on happens deep in the end. You have to wonder if time is up. We do have a couple of injuries that needed to take away, but some better ball movement coming in. You got to wonder about this part.
The Goosey was on for E Junior, but unfortunately got knocked out after he hit that grub. Miami Tridents are just waiting for that final whistle, waiting to celebrate their national championship. They've been building on this for a couple years, been Florida State champions 5 out of the last 6 years, so congratulations to them. They're on their way to becoming crowned the king of the mountain. And Florida teams have really stepped up over recent memory and really created a splash here. Tampa winning D2 women's earlier today. Miami Tridents right now have a handle on and going to win the D2 men's. Palm Beach a few years ago winning D3 men's. So there's an insurgence of Florida rugby popping up. And big congratulations to Miami Tridents, but Oceanside is not done yet.
Number 13, Lucky 13, gets some points on the board. A final try for the Chiefs. You can just see the high fives kind of go on, but Burnett just slightly disappointed as the D2 final should come to a close, but Nikoli moves it to Ravakaba, and Lance, this was just some impressive stuff from them.
Yeah, he's been hard to tackle all day. They should have been giving the ball to him as much as possible. No one man has been able to bring him down. He's had some blistering runs, bone-crushing runs, but unfortunately those 5 points are just a little bit too late at this Oceanside team, showing that they still got fight to the bitter end, but unable to show it sooner in this matchup. Man, this has been a great day of rugby. Darian, it's been so good. So much fun on the microphones with you. And that is game.
That's game, and y'all, here in Austin, Texas, we've got our second D2 champion, Miami. The coaches come in and celebrate because what a win, 38-3. You can see what it means to these players as they have worked tirelessly to get the opportunity and then to execute the way that they did. Miami, impressive stuff.
Thank you very much, guys, for doing the game. We truly can't play the game without you guys. Really fun. I can play without a 5 or a 6, but we can't play without the referee. Thank you very much. Thank you. I got one question. Where do you get the yellow card from?
Lance, you've won some championships throughout your career, and it means everything to us. We'll bring you a couple of commercials, and then we'll be right back.
Rugby's always this macho setting that, you know, it's all about strength. You don't want to show any weakness, but the reality is that people do go through their own battles. Why is it important for us all within the rugby community to really kind of normalise this conversation that surrounds mental health?
We play in a very high stress situation all the time.
There's always a stigma around men that we have to be bravado and like strong.
Within every player, there's always something that you don't always, bring forth to the table, you don't always put out.
Sometimes you don't know it's affecting your game.
Learning ways to connect with other guys, be in environments where you can have the right conversations, be yourself, and share has been super helpful and super important to me in my career, and it's allowed me to grow and mature to the point where, I can handle what professional rugby is going to throw at me.
I think rugby's best played when you're happy and you're enjoying it and you're confident. And I think that these core tenets of being able to play well are fundamentally structured in having a clear mind and not having anything weighing and dragging you down. So clearing up and strengthening the mental aspect is going to inevitably affect the physical aspect. So I think they're completely connected there.
It's hugely important for the safety and well-being of players, looking after their mental health, but more importantly off the pitch, at the end of the day, we're not just players, we're humans, and we need to look after ourselves.
We are here to make the fast food business faster. With just one generous lick. Sorry. There we go. Taste ID will create exactly the combo you would like to eat.
How do you know our customers will like it?
Like it? They're gonna lick it.
Nice.
Get a technology partner that knows your business and your consumers. Globant, technology that really dares to delight.
It's here and it's right for you, the rugby fans. It is the Fantasy League game for Major League Rugby, the only exclusive Fantasy League game for Major League Rugby globally. Getting started is easy. Just log into the platform, head to the play section, and you're in the game. But there's an important step, connecting your wallet.
That's right. To collect player cards, you need to fund your wallet. Oval E offers various options like Ramp, Taurus, MetaMask, each with its own advantages. This process is just a straightforward way to buy in-game tokens, enhancing your gaming experience by allowing you to access different features and player cards within the game.
Once you're set up, explore the play section to see available tournaments. It's where all the action happens.
Looking for new cards? Head to the primary marketplace. And if you're into trading, the secondary marketplace is your...
Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew King to announce our men's Division II national champions.
Thank you. This is Andrew King, Senior Club Chair for 15s. I want to thank everyone for tuning in today for the Division II National Championship. First up, we have Oceanside Chiefs. You guys had an amazing game yesterday against Boston. A great season. Want to honor you guys with the men's D2 National runner-up plate. Thank you. And now we have the MVP award for the men's D2 National Championship. MVP from the Miami Tridents, 15, Francisco Perello. Thank you. Thank you very much. And now, to present our men's D2 national championship to the Miami Tridents.
Hey, 15, MVP, come on over. We got an interview. Oh, it has to be in Spanish. It has to be in Spanish. Hey, then give it in Spanish. You got a translator? Who's got a translator? Come on over.
This is a special day because we got a translator here in Miami, the MVP, number 15. What I want to know, there's been one thing I've been hearing all weekend. That's Miami, Miami, Miami. Watch out for these guys. You came through and you pulled it off for the national title. How does it feel?
Nada, agradecer a todo este equipo hermoso, que es una familia para mí. Y nada, muy contento por haber tocado acá en Miami y estar con este grupo.
And as far as your club goes, what do organizations like USA Rugby and things do for your clubs, and what do you see for the future in Miami?
La verdad que lo veo muy bien, está creciendo cada vez más. Yo creo que este grupo lo demostró, que Miami tiene un nivel muy bueno. Bueno, salimos campeones del nacional, ¿qué vamos a decir?
Well, congratulations. Go celebrate with your team, and congratulations on MVP. The Miami Tridents are the men's Division II Club 15's national champions.
MVP Perillo with some final words for the Miami Tridents, your D2 champions. That's all for us today. Lance, final thoughts about the day between Tampa Crew and Miami. The Florida gang dominated the D2 bracket.
I just looked at my phone and a bunch of people sent me a simple message. Florida up. Florida is up. Congratulations.
And just a couple of things. So we've got to go teams, coaches, refs, sponsors, and the medical staff. We appreciate you giving us a show. Andrew King and the USA Club Rugby deserve a shout out. Without them, we wouldn't have this beautiful facility in Round Rock Complex in Austin, Texas. To the crew at Next Level Rugby, you make every day a rugby day and you make it even better. And to producer Grant and our fearless and special leader Ginty, you do it all and more. Special thanks to the Gabbers, Tim Wilkes, Wendy Young, John Broker, and Lance Kavanaugh. I'm Darian Lovelace. Thanks for joining us. We thank you, the fans, for being a part of the team. Until next time.
It's here and it's right for you, the rugby fans. It is the Fantasy League game for Major League Rugby. The only exclusive Fantasy League game for Major League Rugby globally. Getting started is easy. Just log into the platform, head to the play section, and you're in the game. But there's an important step, connecting your wallet.
That's right. To collect player cards, you need to fund your wallet. Oval E offers various options like Ramp, Taurus, MetaMask, each with its own advantages. This process is just a straightforward way to buy in-game tokens, enhancing your gaming experience by allowing you to access different features and player cards within the game.
Once you're set up, explore the play section to see available tournaments. It's where all the action happens.
Looking for new cards? Head to the primary marketplace. And if you're into trading, the secondary marketplace is your playground to sell and swap cards.
Ooh, Oval E is not just a game, Corbs, it's a rugby community and an experience. Whether you're competing in tournaments or trading cards, there's something for every rugby fan.
Exactly. So log in, set up your wallet, and start your manager's journey in Oval E. It's easy, fun, and the rewards are just waiting for you.
Whey protein is my favorite product. Best part about it is I can have it straight after a workout or a training session.
My favorite product is vitamin D. Back in DC, we practice a lot indoors, especially in the winter, don't get a lot of sunlight, so having some vitamin D is important. We select Thorne because we know it's tested